Hello and welcome to another episode of AI 10X brought to you by 10 Leaves. Today we're going on a deep dive into something pretty amazing,
Yeah.
synthetic biology and bioprinting.
Yeah, it's really it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen so far, scientists are actually building like life and tissues from scratch.
Yeah,
Like it's like science fiction becoming reality. So we're going to break it all down for you today, how it works, what it means, and why it's such a big deal.
absolutely.
It's like we're talking about the building blocks of the future of medicine, right?
It really is. It's fascinating. I mean, just the fact that we're moving beyond just observing nature to actually designing and building biological systems for our own purposes.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to talk about how these fields are different from like traditional biology and all the amazing things we can do with them.
Yeah.
Like, did you know they're using this tech to create new medicines and even clean up the environment?
Oh, absolutely. And the potential for things like personalized tissues and organs,
Yeah.
that's where it gets really exciting.
I know, right?
Uh,
So our mission today is to like really pull out the key insights from all the research you shared with me
Sure.
and help our listeners really understand this cutting edge stuff without getting bogged down with all the, super technical jargon. We want to focus on the wow factor, the things that make you go, aha, and leave everyone excited about what the future holds.
I'm all for that. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with synthetic biology. In the simplest terms, what is it?
So imagine applying engineering principles to the world of biology. That's synthetic biology in a nutshell. We're talking about designing and building new biological parts, devices, even entire systems. Or, we can take existing biological systems and tweak them, re-engineer them to do something completely different.
Okay, so it's not just about understanding how a cell works. It's about actually building or modifying it to do something new.
Exactly. And this is what makes it so different from traditional biology, which is mostly about observing and analyzing existing biological systems.
It's like we're shifting from being passive observers to active creators. One of the articles you sent me called it Engineering with Biological Components, and I love that. Can you expand on that a bit?
Sure, it's a bit like building with Legos. But instead of plastic bricks, we're using the basic building blocks of life: DNA, proteins, cells. And just like Legos, you can put these biological components together in tons of different ways to create brand new functions.
Wow, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So what kind of new functions are we talking about? What can you actually do with this biological Lego set?
Oh, the possibilities are practically endless. One area where we're seeing huge progress is biofuels. So scientists are engineering microorganisms to convert plant material into usable energy, but way more efficiently than before.
That's amazing.
We're also seeing incredible advancements in drug development. Cells are being engineered to produce specific pharmaceutical compounds, which could lead to all sorts of new treatments and therapies.
Now that's something I think everyone can get excited about. New and better medicines.
Absolutely. Then there's the field of biosensors, where engineered biological systems can detect things like pollutants in the environment or even signs of disease in our bodies.
So we're talking about early detection and prevention of diseases, potentially.
Exactly. And let's not forget about environmental cleanup. We can actually engineer microorganisms like bacteria to break down toxic waste and clean up pollution.
It's incredible how this technology can be applied to so many different fields.
It really is. And, we're not just limited to manipulating cells. Scientists are also engineering cells to produce valuable materials.
Yeah, I read about that. Like spider silk, right? That always sounded so futuristic to me.
It does, but it's becoming a reality. By engineering bacteria and other organisms, scientists can now produce the proteins that make up spider silk, which, as you know, is incredibly strong and versatile.
I mean, spider silk is stronger than steel, pound for pound. Imagine what we could do with that.
Right. The potential applications are huge: stronger and lighter textiles, new medical materials, even innovative building materials. And another example, it's insulin, crucial for people with diabetes.
Right.
It's now being produced using genetically engineered microorganisms,
That's amazing.
much more reliable and cost-effective than traditional methods.
It's incredible how something so tiny can have such a huge impact.
Absolutely. And speaking of impact, one really powerful example is the production of artemisinin.
Yeah, I was fascinated by that. Tell me more about that.
So, artemisinin is a critical drug for treating malaria. Traditionally, it's extracted from the sweet wormwood plant, but the supply is often unreliable and the extraction process is pretty complex. But with synthetic biology, we can actually engineer microorganisms, like yeast or bacteria, to produce artemisinin through fermentation.
So like brewing beer, but instead of alcohol, they're making medicine.
Exactly. This engineered production is more controlled, easier to scale up, and could lead to a much more stable and affordable supply of this life-saving drug, especially in areas hit hardest by malaria.
That's incredible. It's like we're using the power of nature itself to fight disease.
Exactly. It's harnessing nature's own tools to solve our problems.
That's a perfect segue into our next topic, bioprinting. We've talked about engineering life at the cellular level, but how do we go from these engineered components to building actual tissues and organs?
That's where bioprinting comes in. Essentially, it's 3D printing, but instead of using plastics or metals, we're using bioinks. These bioinks are special mixtures containing living cells and other materials that support cell growth. Then, using a 3D bioprinter, we can deposit these bioinks layer by layer, very precisely, to create complex three-dimensional tissues.
So it's like 3D printing with living cells.
Precisely. We're essentially building with living building blocks.
So how do synthetic biology and bioprinting work together? They seem related, but also distinct.
They're very much intertwined. You see, bioprinting allows us to take those engineered cells from synthetic biology, the ones with special functions, and arrange them in very specific 3D structures. Think of synthetic biology as giving cells superpowers, and bioprinting as assembling those superpowered cells into a powerful team.
It's like a perfect partnership where each technology enhances the capabilities of the other.
Exactly.
So what are the potential applications of this powerful partnership? It sounds like we're on the verge of some really groundbreaking advancements.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to create skin grafts for burn victims using their own cells. This means no more rejection issues and faster healing. We're also seeing the development of organ-on-a-chip devices. These are miniature models of organs created using bioprinting that can be used for drug testing. More accurate results, and potentially we could significantly reduce animal testing.
So more ethical and effective drug development. That's fantastic. And of course, the ultimate goal for many in the field is to bioprint entire organs for transplantation.
Right, that would be a game changer. Imagine a world without organ donor shortages, where anyone needing a transplant could have a new organ bioprinted, potentially even using their own cells to minimize rejection risks.
It's almost too incredible to imagine. But bioprinting entire organs, that still feels like a giant leap. What are some of the biggest challenges in making that a reality?
You're right, it's a huge undertaking. One of the biggest challenges is creating functional vascular networks within these bioprinted organs. Like, our bodies have intricate networks of blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to every cell and remove waste. Creating these intricate networks in a bioprinted organ is crucial for its survival.
So it's not just about building the structure of an organ, it's about recreating its entire internal infrastructure.
Precisely. Then there's the challenge of developing biocompatible materials. The stuff we use in the bioink alongside the cells needs to support cell growth and tissue formation without causing any harm to the body.
So finding the right materials is crucial.
Absolutely. And the final big challenge is making sure these bioprinted organs can properly integrate with the patient's body. The nerves, the immune system, everything needs to work together seamlessly.
Right. The human body is incredibly complex, so ensuring compatibility is no small feat. But despite these challenges, the progress being made is truly remarkable. Looking ahead, what are some of the most promising areas of research in bioprinting and synthetic biology?
One exciting area is cell-free synthetic biology. This involves creating biological systems without using whole living cells, just the components like DNA and enzymes. It gives scientists much greater control and stability for certain applications.
That sounds fascinating. And what about bioprinting? Any exciting new techniques on the
Oh,
horizon?
absolutely. We're starting to see the emergence of 4D bioprinting. Imagine bioprinted tissues that can change their shape or function over time in response to signals. It's like printing dynamic, living structures that can adapt and evolve.
That's incredible. It's like taking 3D printing to a whole new level.
Oh,
And speaking of advancements, I read that AI is playing a growing role in synthetic biology.
yes. AI is a game changer. It's being used to speed up the design of new proteins, metabolic pathways, and even complex genetic circuits. It's like having a superpowered research assistant that can analyze massive amounts of data and come up with innovative solutions.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI is accelerating progress in synthetic biology at an unprecedented pace.
Yeah.
And what about new materials? It seems like developing new bioinks and scaffolding materials is essential for bioprinting to really take off.
Absolutely. We need materials that are not only biocompatible and biodegradable, but also provide the right structure and environment for cells to thrive. That's why there's so much research into hydrogels, which can mimic the properties of natural tissues. Another promising avenue is using decellularized organs, where you remove all the cells from an organ, leaving behind the natural scaffold, and then repopulate it with the patient's own cells.
That's amazing. It's like giving an old organ a new lease on life. So, with all these advancements, what kind of impact could synthetic biology and bioprinting have on the world in the long run?
The potential is huge. In healthcare, we could see a shift toward truly personalized medicine. Imagine treatments and therapies tailored to your specific genetic makeup. Bioprinting could revolutionize organ transplantation, eliminating those long waiting lists and the need for immunosuppressant drugs. We could see faster, more efficient, and more ethical drug development using those organ-on-a-chip models.
It sounds like we're on the cusp of a revolution in medicine, but the applications go beyond just healthcare.
Oh, definitely. Imagine agriculture with crops engineered for higher yields and resistance to pests and diseases.
Uh,
Or manufacturing using new bio-based materials that are more sustainable and eco-friendly. And imagine environmental cleanup using engineered microorganisms to target and eliminate pollution. The possibilities are vast.
It's mind-boggling to think about the potential these technologies hold. But with such power comes great responsibility. So what are the key next steps to ensure these fields progress responsibly and ethically?
Continued research and development is essential. We need to keep pushing the boundaries, but always with safety and effectiveness in mind. Rigorous testing and clinical trials are crucial. Also, making sure these technologies are accessible to everyone and that the benefits are shared equitably is incredibly important. We don't want to exacerbate existing inequalities.
Absolutely. Responsible innovation is key.
And finally, ongoing public education and engagement are vital. We need to have open and honest conversations about the implications of these technologies, both the potential benefits and the risks. Public understanding and trust are essential for ensuring that these advancements ultimately benefit all of humanity.
Well said. This deep dive into synthetic biology and bioprinting has been truly eye-opening. It's clear that we're at the forefront of a technological revolution that has the potential to reshape our world in profound ways. From engineering bacteria to printing tissues, the possibilities are both exciting and awe-inspiring. We hope this exploration has given you a better understanding of these complex fields and sparked your imagination about what the future holds. The pace of development is rapid, and the implications are far-reaching, affecting everything from how we treat diseases to how we interact with the environment. Stay tuned for more insights on AI. This is AI 10X, a podcast series brought to you by 10 Leaves.